Hey, this is Paul. I'm going to take you through a quick course walk. We're here at Sebring International Raceway, racing on the skid pan. Here's the start line. When you line up on the start, you're always going to start, on this case, all the way over on the left. It makes the corner shorter on the right. And we're going to set off, and you want to walk the course. Basically, imagine you're sitting in your car. So when you come across a cone that's going to be on your right hand side, you want to be like 4 or 5 feet away from it on the left of it. When you're coming across a cone that's on the left hand side, you're only going to want to be about 1 or 2 feet away. So as you can see, we're coming up to the first element here, which is going to be a slalom. You want to get lined up nice and straight coming up the slalom. And then it's important to count the paces between the slaloms. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. As you can see, the slalom gets longer, so you're actually going to be able to pick up speed in this one. Sometimes they get closer together, so you've got to slow down. They'll come up to the next element, which is a 180 degrees turnaround. It's quite tight, this one, so you want to look for the exit point, which is going to be here, and look at the entry point. And when I'm going to come in, you're going to pick it up for the speed from the second to last cone on the slalom, and you're going to come through. You want to be as tight as you can on this cone. You're really going to drop the speed down. It's really important that you stay close on the tight turnarounds, because as you come around, you're going to be looking at the exit, and then you really want to stay close to these cones, because you're never going to pick up speed by going wider and going faster. Shortest wins when it comes to turnaround points like this. As we're coming around, you're going to pick up the exit. You can see there's a gate just as we come round. Obviously, the further away from these cones you are, the more work you're going to have to do to get to these cones. So it's really important to stay real close to these cones here, which is going to make it reasonably straight shot to this cone. And then after this element here, I'm setting up to go over there, so I want to get the car start to come out a little bit early if possible. So I'm kind of turning in on the second cone, which is the one I'm worried about. And I want to, as I pass this cone, I already want to be heading in the general direction here. And we're going through now. We're starting to set up. This is basically a little kink into the next big turnaround at the end. We can see the guy in the green shirt. Basically, we're going to come through. We got 2 cones on the left with 1 cone on the right. So we're going to want to get nice and close on this cone, and then we've got a little pinch point, so we've got to try and get through this as basically as close to the cones as possible. So we're going to come round, and the closer you get here, the faster you can go through. So nice and tight on these 2, keeping it as quick as possible. And then we're going to accelerate, and then we're coming up to another sweeper. Coming down for the sweeper, same as always. You want to look at the exit before you go in, so you know where you're going. And we're going to stay real tight. Now, I'm not sure if you can tell in the video, but there's a little bit of camber on this track. So as we come in, we're basically going to be off camber all the way around, so it's going to be a little harder than if it was flat. And just after we pass the halfway point coming round, the camber changes. So here I'm kind of heading slightly uphill, and as we come round a few more paces in front of me, it's starting to level off now. And now it's starting to go downhill. So as we're coming halfway around, the car's probably going to let go a little bit more here, which is something to really consider, because you want a tight exit to set us up, because here we're going to go back through the slalom that we've already been through. So we want to keep it real tight on these cones. If you keep it real tight here, you can see it's basically a straight shot to the second cone. So what we can do is ignore the first, and you can almost ignore the last as well. So it's really just going to be a 3-cone slalom if you get the car set up correctly. So same again, we know this is opening up. I'm going to ignore the first cone because I've already come from the left, and I'm going to brake into the second cone. So we're going to brake down, brake in here, get the speed down, starting to turn and try and get nice and early so we're already turning as we're passing the cone, and then coming out. So once you get in a nice rhythm of the slalom on this one, we can accelerate a little bit, but really you want to, slaloms are all about speed maintenance, going at a good speed that you can keep the car going all the way through. And here we're looking at the exit. Here we've got a, after the last slalom cone we're going to do left. It's a, I don't know, maybe a 45-degree to the left, and then we've got a big 270 sweeper to the right. It's going to be real tight. So it's important to stay close here, and we've got a little kink, and this is going to be a pretty fast entrance into that big turnaround you can see at the end. So it's important to stay really tight here, not to get sloppy. Keep real close to these 2 cones here. And then we're going to look, there's some camber changes as we go around. And if you notice at the end there, the ground that we're coming into is a much darker colour, it's black. Basically this is a skid pan, so people go around the skid pan to, you know, learn to car control and see the limit of your car. Basically we see where it oversteers, understeers, and there's a sealant on the track, so it's going to make the ground really slick, which means you're going to have to take this a little bit slower than you would normally. And it's going to be really important, as we can see when we get to the exit, I'll show you in a minute, it's going to be really important that you keep the car really tight to the cone. So we're going to come in, basically this cone here is going to be the cone that we start turning on. So we're going to come in, we're going to brake, we're going to get as close to that cone, and because it's a perfect circle, we're going to try and keep the same distance from every cone. So we're going to go around, try and keep it really, really close. It's important to gauge the speed as we come down. If you're a little too quick, you've got to slow down. If your car's easily getting around the corner, then you can maybe apply a little bit of speed. But you pretty much want to go slow down. This is just how well your car grips, how balanced your car is. And you've got to come around, staying as close as possible. Very minimal steering inputs. The steering should have been set at the beginning, and then you just kind of control it a little bit with the accelerator. If you're starting to push out a bit, you can come off the gas. If you're nice and tight, you can apply a little bit of gas, which will just help the car settle the car and get round as possible. As you can see here, if we're close to this cone, I've got a straight shot to the finish. However, if I'd have come out and maybe I'm wide because I've come around too fast, and you can see I'm going to have to come back to the right and then back to the left. So it's going to make the end much harder. So it's really important here, and this could save me a second almost by keeping nice and tight. And then it's just going to be a drag strip finish from here. If you've done the sweeper correctly, you're going to have a pretty nice time getting through to the end of it. So as long as we're going fast, we're going to make sure we don't hit this cone, but real close to it. And then it's just how much power has your car got. So this is unfortunately where my car is going to have a disadvantage, because it's not particularly powerful, but it handles pretty well. So we'll see how it goes. And then you can see the guy there, that's going to be the finish line where the large cones are. And we've actually got a good bit of run up here. We're probably going to be finishing about, I don't know, 60 mile an hour maybe. So there's going to be some braking needs to be done when we get across the finish line, but it's hard down across the finish line. And then like most autocross events, once you pass the finish line, we don't have a lot of space here, so it's going to be slam the anchors on, hard braking. Hope you enjoyed your walkthrough. I'll catch you later.